Hey guys, how are you? Hope all is well with everybody. I'm good. Bright and sunny afternoon here in Nairobi. I today I thought to share something that stems from the last video I shared. And okay, it's always that, something stemming from the last video, but it's not my usual kind of video. So I'm a medical doctor, for those that do not know, and I just want to speak on what I said, about me being in when I was when I was super stressed, when I was at rock bottom, when I was in the deepest, darkest valley. I grew 7 to 10 shades darker than I am right now, and my face broke out and all that. So I felt it appropriate to just let you guys know what happens with the body in times of extreme stress. So in the brain, there is a part of the brain called the hypothalamus, and it produces a hormone called CRH. So it's corticotropin releasing hormone. Let me tell you, I'm going back to my first year of medical school science. So corticotropin releasing hormone, this hormone then goes out to stimulate the pituitary gland, which is it's a gland that's just below the hypothalamus, to produce corticotropin, or ACTH, adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone, or corticotropin releasing hormone. Now, this ACTH, or corticotropin, it's a hormone. It's released into the veins, and it goes down to the kidneys. So our brain is here, kidneys are down there. So it goes down to the kidneys, and on top of the kidneys, there's a gland called the adrenal gland on both kidneys. So one adrenal gland, left and right adrenal gland. So this ACTH goes down to stimulate the adrenal gland to produce cortisol. I am pretty sure many of us have heard that the stress hormone in our body is called cortisol. There are many stress hormones that produce a fight and flight response in moments of great stress, but cortisol is the one that's spoken about a lot out there, about as the stress hormone, as the body stress hormone. So cortisol will do a couple of things in the body. It can weaken your immune system. It can cause an increase of blood glucose in the body. It can cause an increase in association with other hormones. It can cause an increase in blood pressure. Another hormone that is secreted by the adrenal gland, other than cortisol, is adrenaline. We all know adrenaline, and we all know, even in kawaida talk, in usual talk, normal talk, we'll say, my adrenaline levels are all the way up there. When you're in a situation where there's a lot of stress. So these two will work in synergy together to cause the things that are happening in your body in that time. Now I'll speak on on one of the things, the shades, the skin getting darker. The funny thing is, even the algorithm, say the Instagram algorithm, when you're going through something, I don't know who listens to us when we say something, and then your algorithm just shows you things that you've been thinking about or talking about. So it has shown me, I've seen so many videos of women who say they've been through it, and then they post a picture of their before and after, and their before is some unrecognizable person, who's really dark, especially for us melanated ones, black people, some really dark, broken out skin person, and then now her after, when she's got through what she's going through, she's a whole different person. So this, the ACTH, the one that is produced by stay with me guys, the one that's produced by the pituitary gland, if it is metabolized, if it is broken down by the body, one of the end products of its metabolism is another hormone called the melanocyte stimulating hormone. Melanocytes are the cells that produce the pigment that we have, melanin. Okay, so when this ACTH is broken down, MSH is formed, and MSH does what? Stimulates the cells, melanocytes, to produce melanin. So you get darker, and that's how you get darker. And why is it associated to stress? Because that circuit, or that cycle of hypothalamus pituitary gland, adrenal gland, cortisol production, and, all those other stress hormones being produced. Some of it is, that ACTH, the one that's in the middle, the one produced by the pituitary gland is broken down. And then that stress is ongoing, so there's a lot of that ACTH being produced. Then some of it is being broken down to MSH, and the MSH now stimulates the melanocytes to produce melanin, and you become darker. When the trigger for this circuit, whatever you want to call it, is removed, then things are reversed. There's no overproduction of melanin. Some of these things that may have occurred. These other things, high blood pressure or high blood sugar, that would have occurred that had occurred during the stressful period, may be reversed. More often than not, are reversed. So I just wanted to share that. Just so that you know. So I also didn't. I basically spoke about my skin getting darker and losing weight. So I lost weight because I don't eat when I'm stressed. Some people eat, stress eat. I don't eat, so I didn't eat, and I wasn't eating rather, and that's how I lost all those kilos. So when people meet me, and they're just like, "Hey, Lorraine, what did you do? How did you lose all this weight?" I always say, I do not recommend. But the closest thing to that, is IF, because IF, you eat for a short period of time, and then you basically starve yourself for a number of hours, and, people lose weight on that. But, I always say I do not recommend. I do not recommend going through a stressful situation like I did. Now, other things that I noticed, because cortisol, an overproduction of cortisol will weaken your immune system. Then once your immune system is weakened, then you are prone to so many, illnesses and things. And, like for me, I used to ask myself, like, what are these things that are happening? So I began to get what we call urticaria. Urticaria is, where you get really itchy, and then you come up with little rashes, just hives, basically hives. And I'm not an allergic person. Yes, there are allergies in my family, but I personally have never had allergies. So this thing just started all of a sudden. And I remember one day I gently scratched my thigh, and I saw, I have these hives. What is this? And then it just continued. There are times when it would be really bad. Like when the sun would come out, it would be really bad. And then I would just ask myself, like for a while, I didn't know what this was about. And I just like, am I developing allergies in adulthood? But then once I was out somewhere with a group of people, and one of the people who was there was just like, "Hey, Lorraine, it might be stress. Are you going through something?" And imagine that is when, I think it was after a couple of weeks or months, because that day I really scratched. It was hot. The sun was shining on me, and, my skin was exposed, and I was really scratching, and I had hives, and we were at a mall somewhere, and there was a hospital there. I had to go to the hospital to get, like antihistamines, because it was really bad. And I was just like, okay, you know what? It's probably just this stress. Me, I'm here thinking I'm just developing allergies out of nowhere, or something else is going on with my body. Yet it was just stress. And it actually just was stress. I still get it small time, because stress haijaisha kabisa, but it is on the way out. But it's not as bad as it used to be. Yeah. And then there are times where there's a time I had high blood pressure, and I bought, I just bought a BP machine for my home care business. And I started checking my pressure, and I was just like, oh my God, my pressure is going up. But it was short-lived, And there are times when, I'll just think, hey, I may be getting a heart attack. Like, I had so many symptoms that were just going on in my body, and they were so unexplainable. But there's a time I actually went for a full-on cardio checkup in the hospital. ECGs, CT scans, echoes. Okay, did I do an echo? No, I didn't do an echo, but I did an ECG, and then I did some blood work and stuff, and it all came out clean. And so I was just like, hey, Yani, this is all due to stress. So these stress hormones can do a number on you, do a number on our bodies. And I don't know about men. Honestly, I don't know about men. If there's a man out there who's watching and can just let us know. I don't know how stress affects your bodies, but this thing affects women mostly. Just these effects of cortisol and adrenaline, but cortisol mainly, just weakening your immune system, and, just doing a number on different organs in your body. So in me just realizing that and you know, putting my medical education to work, you know, I was able to, you know, just figure, okay, now I need to undoor myself, remove myself from this stressful situation, from this basically from this stressful situation. And so I had to just do a couple of things, kujitoa, because I used to tell people, and after I removed myself from a stressful situation and, you know, just began this path of healing, I used to tell people, if I remained there maybe even a month or two, honestly, it may have been a body bag that they would have come and got me, you know, out of that place. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I realized it. I'm glad I did that, you know, and I'm okay, you know, I'm okay. I'm grateful that I'm okay. And so the reason why I'm doing this video, I just thought about it after I posted the last video, that this could help somebody out there. You know, you're probably spending lots of money in the hospitals. You're probably, you know, wondering, asking yourself all sorts of questions, and this is just adding on to your anxiety and stuff, and wondering, why am I having all these things all of a sudden? But if you sit back and think, if you're in a super stressful situation, it may just be that, because now your body is reacting to it by producing all these hormones that now have negative effects on your body. So it's up to you, you know. At the end of the day, you're the one who, if this is it, if it's actually just the stress hormones wreaking havoc, then now it's up to you to decide, you know, what am I going to do? Am I going to remove myself from this situation? Am I going to remedy something? Am I going to, you know, just basically find something, do something to remedy that situation? Because like I said in the last video, you have to be super honest with yourself. When you're in that dark night, when you're in that deep dark valley, you have to be super honest with yourself in every area of your life, every single area of your life. So even when you come to the realization of this, that it's nothing else but this. But you see, even if we say it's nothing else but this, it can have very catastrophic results. And I do not want you to get there, where you have catastrophic results because just one thing tipped this whole circuit, and then cortisol overproduction, and now you have all these things going on in your life, and it continues on because the body is unforgiving. You know, it'll continue on, it'll continue wreaking havoc inside, and then one day you'll just wake up and be like, hey, this, you know, where did all this come from, you know? So ladies, please look out for yourselves. Just figure, if you're going through, if your health is just getting out of hand and you're wondering where it's going through, and you know for a fact that you're in a stressful situation or you're going through a lot, just sit down with yourself and figure how you can remedy that, you know, to just break that circuit and now just try and reverse things. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to share today. Please look out for, if you're seeing this on YouTube, please go to my Instagram and look out. I'll be putting something out later on today about what I've been working on and preparing for us as ladies, and you know, yeah, basically that. Just look out for it, and I'm excited, super excited. This journey, we will walk it together and work it out. Yes, we'll walk it together, and you know, we will hold each other's hand and, you know, win. We will win. We will definitely win. So look out for that on Instagram. But you know, put a comment or two on this video. You know, if you need questions to some answers, or you need a handheld, or you need a prayer, you know, just reach out. Yep, have yourself a good rest of Friday and an awesome weekend. And remember, Sister Circle out of town is still happening on the 1st of May. Check out the details as well on my Instagram, and sign up. Slots are still available. Alrighty, later on. Love you, bye.